Thank you, Chair. Colleagues, I just briefly want to draw your attention to the second report of the Standing Committee on Rules, Procedures and the Rights of Parliament with respect to the role of non-affiliated senators. You will know that there are two kinds of reports the Rules Committee can table in the Senate. One is our first report, like our first report, and that is where we recommend rule changes, which have to, of course, be adopted by the full chamber. This second report is of the other kind, which is simply tabling for your consideration the views of the committee with respect to a subject matter that has been drawn to the committee's attention, and this is the role of the non-affiliated senators. I don't want to take much time with going into detail, but I simply want to remind the Senate that the committee dealt with this issue over 9 meetings, and the committee heard from 13 witnesses. 8 of those meetings involved 12 witnesses and were held before the study lapsed following the prorogation of the first session of the 44th Parliament. It resumed in the 45th Parliament, and the results of it are contained in this report. Rather than make recommendations for rule changes, which the committee viewed as not being required, we did outline a number of best practices, and I only want to reference one because I want to encourage it being read and proceeded with by COPO and the cooperation of the GRO and the scroll process, that we should develop a formalized practice to ensure that all senators, including non-affiliated senators, receive timely, updated, complete, equal, and consistent information on statements, debates, votes, bills, motions, and chamber agenda changes. And the leadership representatives from other recognized groups and parties be included in the development of this practice. And the committee requests that this formalized practice improve mechanisms for communicating last-minute changes by providing an online version of the daily scroll notes that is updated in real time. I bring this to your attention, colleagues, because I think this is a measure, while it's under the rubric of non-affiliated senators, is a measure that would help us all follow the proceedings as they evolve. So I commend the report to you and invite those who are referenced to particularly pay attention and encourage their following up.
Senator Housakos.
Senator Harder, take a question.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Senator Harder, for your work, and we are going to take the report under consideration and review it carefully. I haven't had time to do that yet, but I did hear more or less the objective of the report from you, and it strikes me, if there aren't entrenched rule changes, then is the objective here just trying to count on the goodwill of the various groups in chamber and speaker in order to bring into practice what you're recommending? I know that in the past, once upon a time, there were a few very number of unaffiliated senators, and there was always an attempt made to try to keep them up to speed in terms of amendments and motions and what have you. But I'll give you a simple example today. We had a series of motions on of amendments on C-12, and forget about non-affiliated members of the official opposition, and I suspect other members from other groups never got those amendments until we came to the floor. So actually, I think the good practice that you're recommending is something maybe that could be expanded.
That's precisely why I raised it, Senator, because I think while the rubric was non-affiliated, this is a practice which we would encourage is broadly shared and is available to all senators so that we can have a better in-time, real-time awareness. With respect to your premise, the best practices are referenced in the report in a sense of being how we should accommodate the non-affiliated should that number increase, including sessional orders, which I would again reference to the committee or to the chamber as having accommodated significant changes in the ups and downs of the last 10 years, and is a good practice for us to remind ourselves is available to the Senate.
Senator Dunn, would you like to ask a question?
I'd like to ask a question as well, Senator Harder. I'm sure he'll take it. If not, he'll stay in his seat. Senator Harder, thank you for that report. And I'm glad you highlighted that the new technology that we're all using every day on our laptops and our phones, we're not using in the Senate. and we're not using that to keep people informed. And the report is focused, as the Leader of the Opposition indicated, on the non-aligned senators, but there's a lack of information available for all senators. And adapting technology to the Senate will address that. And I hope the government leader and the people at the other groups that have to take action on this will take that action. I'm just wondering if you could tell me if there's any advance being made on how we vote. We're doing the best practice of 1867. We're all standing up, bowing. We all saw what happened to ministers here when they vote. Excuse me, they're gone for 30 seconds and they're back testifying in committee of the whole. Is there any consideration to adapting the Senate to that as well? Thank you.
Senator Harder.
Thank you very much for the question. Senator, you will know as a member of the Rules Committee that this subject has not been discussed in the Rules Committee. It came up tangentially in the course of this conversation on the non-affiliated in the sense of utilizing technology for our collective benefit. With respect to the innovation of voting remotely or voting online, I think that is a question that leaders are more appropriate to be the stimulus for further consideration and direction to the appropriate Senate committee, should that be desired.